I'm wondering, aside from parallel lives, is it possible to have simultaneous physical realities in the same time frame or time-space point?
This is what is called counterparts that we were discussing a few moments ago, yes.
Okay, and how many of those can you have? Is there a
It
limit?
depends
or?
upon how you are arranging yourself and what themes you are exploring.
Okay. I was under the understanding that you can't actually, I mean,
Let me put it
technically.
to you this way. You can do the math, all right?
Okay.
Of the approximately 7 billion people on your planet as physical individuals, there are only about 350,000 to 400,000 oversouls.
Okay.
So do the math.
Right. Right.
That's an average. It fluctuates a bit, but that's an average.
Okay. And I was under the understanding that if you had a counterpart, that you wouldn't actually ever meet them.
It depends. Sometimes you might not. It depends upon the themes you're exploring and how it would serve you to meet or not meet them. And sometimes you may run into a counterpart and fall in love with them, and sometimes you may hate their guts.
Okay.
Now, I'm being a little euphemistic because I certainly don't promote that idea. But nevertheless, knowing how you humans operate, you may simply find that you don't prefer some of your own counterparts. And that vibration may simply be for the purpose of keeping you apart. You understand?
Yes. Okay. Do I have any counterparts?
Yes.
How many? 5. And they're all still living at this time?
That's why I gave you that answer. If they were not still living, they wouldn't be counterparts.
I feel like I experienced one of them passing in the last year.
Sometimes that happens. As you
Was-
say, ships in the night.
Okay. So that is in fact what that,
Yes.
okay.
Sometimes you will sense it, sometimes you will not.
Okay.
Does that help you?
That does help me. Thank you.
Why, thank you.
I have one more question.
Oh, all right.
For most of my life, I have had vivid dreams,
Yes.
many of them with different types of UFOs.
Oh, all
and
right.
I find that the transitioning back
Yes.
is very difficult to physically awake.
Oh, all right.
And I'm,
That's because your physical reality is so much more dense.
yeah.
And
Okay.
therefore, you are attempting to insert yourself and lower your vibration again to match that physical dense reality. So it can feel a little thick, yes.
Okay.
Can be like trying to push through molasses, yes.
Is there a way that I could continue to have these adventures and vivid memories of my dreams
Of course.
while still waking up feeling
Yes.
not so exhausted?
It requires that you allow yourself a higher degree of lucidity in the dream. Because once you allow a higher degree of lucidity in the dream, you can recognize that you can allow a higher degree of lucidity in physical life. And that can allow you to, shall we say, control the vibration of the physical reality in a way to make it more compatible with your reinsertion. Does that
Okay.
help you?
Yes.
Let us explain very clearly that this is actually what our civilization has done. As we have said, when the soul decides to have an incarnation, and I'm speaking euphemistically here, symbolically in a sense, but there's some reality to it, vibrationally speaking, energetically speaking, the idea of the soul is that it splits itself into the higher mind and the physical mind. And those two together in balance, in harmony, form the whole person that will have the experience of that incarnation. The higher mind remaining non-physical to guide the physical mind in that sense, like someone standing on the mountaintop so that it can give a broad view perspective to the physical mind down in the valley so it won't fall into so many holes because it can't really see where it's going. In between the two is what we call the template level reality, the actual place where the soul and the higher mind create the blueprint, lay out the blueprint for the themes you will explore, literally construct, in a sense, the physical reality blueprint of what will manifest in your physical life. When you go into a dream state, you're going, in a sense, to the template level reality. And if you are lucid in it and understand that you're awake in the dream, then you can actually use the template level blueprint to rearrange and reorganize the physical reality that you reinsert yourself back into. So the more lucidly you are in that state, the more lucid, in a sense, you can make your physical reality, or at least more in alignment with the lucidity you're having in the dream state. And again, this is what our civilization has done, because once we allowed ourselves to understand how to become truly lucid in the dream state, we never went back. We simply, from there, altered the physical reality blueprint to become more aligned with that state of dream lucidity, and therefore we are always asleep and always awake, and that's why we never sleep. We live in the dream, and that is our reality. It's totally lucid. Does that make sense to you?
That's fantastic.
So the more you can gain lucidity in your dream by whatever variety of permission slips and techniques may be available to you on your planet, of which there are many, the more you'll be able to create physical reality, since physical reality is also just a dream, to become more lucid and match the vibration of the dream lucidity and create less and less and less difference between the two until they, in a sense, become one reality. Does that help you?
That does help me.
Pleasant dream.
Thank you. And I have another question about the amount of UFOs that actually are in my dreams.
Yes.
Could you explain what's going on there?
Well, please understand that there are many comings and goings and many different dimensions in which different beings are traveling in a variety of ways. Most of this is simply invisible to you, but when you expand your senses, suddenly you realize that there's all this activity going on all the time. You suddenly realize that you have, for most of your life, actually been living under an airport. It's just that you haven't been able to see the planes. Mm-hmm. Now, as you expand your senses, you suddenly realize all the traffic that actually exists in the area that you're in. Mm-hmm. Understand?
Yes.
So it's not necessarily that there has been more activity, there's just more awareness on your part of the activity that's always been there.
Okay.
Does that help?
It does. Usually in the dreams, my initial reaction is excitement.
Yes.
And then when it comes...
Followed by what?
With fear. It
About
comes
what?
to me more directly after the initial viewing of it and the
Yes.
excitement. It comes to me directly,
Yes.
and then I completely freak out.
Because?
I
What
don't
are you afraid
know.
of?
I'm not sure.
Yes, you are. Can't lie to us. No fibbing allowed. Of course you are. It's very easy to find out what you are afraid of by giving in to the fear, by asking the question, by magnifying and amplifying it. If I gave in to this vibration, if I truly recognized this reality, if I allowed myself to truly become who I prefer to be, what am I afraid is the worst, most terrifying, most horrifying, fearful thing I am afraid might happen. And when you're willing to hear the answer, you'll know why you're afraid.
Okay.
But the idea is that whenever you find out what that fear is, it's not something that will ever be actually empirically true about you. It will only reveal a belief you have about yourself that can be changed. Because there is nothing to fear. The only thing, I guarantee you, the only thing you will ever discover in the unknown is more of you. Because you fill everything in your reality. Mm-hmm. It's just that there are parts of yourself you don't know yet, you haven't met yet. But you will discover them, and there's no need to fear them. Does that help?
Yes.
All right.
Am I a hybrid?
All of you are hybridized to one degree or another. That's what a human is. Remember, because there was an early, naturally evolved hominid on your planet that was genetically altered by extraterrestrial races to become Homo sapien, you're all hybridized. The branches of the original hominid that were not hybridized continue to evolve. You now know them today as Sasquatch. If you had never been hybridized, you would all be Sasquatch. That was the natural evolutionary form on Earth. And it continued to evolve right alongside of you. However, they evolved so closely with nature, so intuitively with nature, so in connection with nature, they can actually go from one dimension to another like walking through a door, and that's why they're hard to find. But that's the natural denizen, that's the original inhabitant of Earth. You, in a sense, are an alteration. You're a hybridization of that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. I feel like the fear that comes over me in the dream is the connection that I have directly with these UFOs and these.
But why would that be something to fear?
Well, because I would have to face it and accept it and.
And why would
and
that
own
be
it.
difficult?
I think it's.
I have a great connection,
Yes.
and I love it.
And I love listening to it.
Why don't you love being it or having it?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. You'll find out that you know when you are willing to ask the question. What am I afraid will happen if I acknowledge the connection?
I'm afraid of being seen that way.
By whom?
Others, the world. I don't know.
Who cares?
Well, right.
Who cares?
I agree.
The
to some
ones that
extent.
would see and understand it will understand it. The ones that would see and not understand it will never understand it. So what do you care?
Yes.
Yes? Why are you measuring yourself against others? You have absolutely no business comparing yourself to anyone else because you are absolutely unlike anyone else. All of you are. You actually have not only no business comparing yourself to anyone else, you actually have no capability of comparing yourself to anyone else because you're all unique.
Yes.
I understand you have some degree of similarity, but that's it. You're never going to be exactly like anyone else. So there is absolutely nothing anyone else could say that is in any way, shape, or form relevant to you except what you believe is relevant to you. And the only reason you would be afraid of what others think is because you know that all they're doing is reflecting what you already think of yourself. So if you don't prefer the things you think of yourself, change that. And when you change what you think of yourself, you will not give a whit what other people think of you. You can always use guidance to make sure that other people are reflecting things to you that you could use as information to keep yourself on track. I'm not saying you have to ignore everyone and not listen to them, because they may be saying things that are wisdom for you. But it's up to you to decide what's true for you and what's not. Totally. Make sense?
Absolutely.
So again, no matter what anyone says, when you allow yourself to be who you are, thank them for offering you a different perspective. It's just not a perspective that you feel like agreeing with today. But they are totally entitled to their perspective because you would never disallow or invalidate what they perceive to be true. Because if you invalidate them, why should they validate you?
Yes.
But again, the irony and the paradox is you don't need them to validate you. And by not needing them to validate you, you are capable of validating yourself and everyone else, no matter how different their perspective of you might be from your own. Do you see the paradox here?
Yes,
Do you see how to use the power of the paradox in this?
I do.
Does this help you?
Very much so.
Why, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there another person whose name?
Hi, Bashar.
And you good day.
I'd like to ask, we're all trying to figure out
You are all what?
We're all trying to
You
figure
are all what? We are selectively deaf to certain words. Trying is one of them.
We are working
You're either
on,
doing something or you're not.
we are working on
Yes?
figuring out what our reality is.
You are figuring out what your reality is
and
in your own way. You're not working on it. You're not trying to work on it. You're figuring it out in your own way.
And that's where I could use some help.
All right. What help would you like?
Well, I understand the concept of parallel reality.
Are you sure?
It's kind of a new concept for me.
All right, and you understand it just like that. Congratulations.
but I could use some additional help.
In what way?
I just stumbled into some information on the history of the human race,
Yes.
the starting from the beginning,
Yes.
how Earth was formed and what it was originally intended for, and I'm trying to discern, is that real reality or is that my reality?
All realities are real. The question is not, are the realities real? Anything you can imagine is somehow, in some way, shape, or form, a real experience because you can't imagine non-existence. It's not possible. So anything you can imagine has some relevance and some reality somewhere. The question isn't, is it real? The question is it relevant for you? And you are the one to decide whether it is or not. Because if you shift, as you do, all of you, billions of times per second from parallel reality to parallel reality to parallel reality, you are shifting from one version of Earth to another, 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 constantly in order to create the side effect you call space and time. So at any moment, you're actually on a different Earth with a different history. You decide by your vibration which version of Earth you will experience. So if one version doesn't seem to have a lot of relevance to you, one history doesn't seem to be relevant to you, then allow yourself to know that another version probably is more relevant to you. It's not that they're not all true, it's just that you are allowing yourself to experience whichever one is relevant for the themes you chose to explore. But all of them are true. Does that help? Or did that just confuse you even more?
Well, I could probably use some clarification. The information I have is that this is regarding the Anunnakis.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't choose to have that reality, but I'm experiencing.
Well, obviously, in some senses you do, or you wouldn't be where you are.
Okay, got it. I'll
All
figure
right.
that part out.
But you can choose your relationship to that idea in a way that only benefits you in positive ways, yes?
Yes.
So, then if you know that you can always choose a version that benefits you in positive ways, why worry about what other versions there may be if they have nothing to do with you?
I actually don't think there's any other version because I've only stumbled into one version.
There is no just one version. There are an infinite number of versions of everything you can imagine. You will gravitate to the one that is most in alignment with your particular chosen vibration based on your belief systems. Simple as that. That doesn't mean the other ones don't exist,
Okay.
but you only experience the one at any given moment that's relevant for you, and that's why it seems like there's only one. Remember, every belief system is structured to make it seem as if no other belief is possible. If that were not true, you wouldn't be able to have an experience in physical reality. Yes?
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yes, it
All
does.
right. So
I have a lot of sorting out to do.
well, all right. That sounds like fun.
I hope
It will
it
become
is.
clearer as you understand the concept.
Okay. I have a question regarding dreams.
Yes.
I don't have dreams.
Yes, you do.
I don't remember them.
All right.
Are they really necessary to remember?
No,
Okay. Great.
they are only necessary to have.
Why is that?
Because when you go into dream, because of your definitions of physical reality, making it seem as if you're disconnected from the spirit self, you go into the dream state to shut down the physical mind so you can reconnect consciously to the idea of your greater self and recharge yourself. And without that, without dreaming, you would actually go into psychotic shock because you're relying totally on the physical mind, which cannot exist on its own. It has to connect, it has to connect, it has to connect to the higher mind somehow in consciousness. And therefore, when you're not connecting consciously in your daily life, you will connect unconsciously in your dream state in order to maintain the balance of your total being. Because without the idea of making that connection, you are not functioning as a whole being. The physical mind by itself is literally a half-wit.
Is it necessarily to consciously remember your dreams? I mean, we've already hooked on
No, as I
unconscious-
just said, as long as you have an unconscious connection, that will suffice. Sometimes it might be necessary to remember certain things if it serves the theme you're exploring. but you don't necessarily have to remember them all.
Okay.
Does that help you?
Yeah, yes, it does.
All right, well, pleasant dreams to you, if
I'm
you
sure
remember
will
them.
be. Yes. And then I also wanted to find out, there's a lot of people that are trying to connect with their past lives,
All lives exist simultaneously.
the lives that are called past lives.
I know what you meant.
How can you give us some tools on how to connect with these lives?
You're already connected. You're already receiving information and downloads from all the experiences of the ones that are relevant to the life you've chosen here. So it's not about how do I connect, it's how do you have more awareness that you're already connected. That's a big difference. When you understand you're already connected, that fact alone, if it actually is perceived by you as a fact, will or perhaps can make all the difference in your experience of those connections. Because if you know you're already connected and you take that for granted, then you don't have to try to connect. Trying to connect implies that you believe you're not connected. Knowing you're already connected gives you a head start, and thus then makes it easier for you to perceive the connections that are already there instead of believing you have to do something that you don't know how to do already. Big difference.
I guess my question would be then, how do I recognize that I'm already connected?
I just told you.
I'm
Do you
sorry.
understand that everything exists all at once?
Yes.
Do you? If you really understand the concept that everything is actually here and now, then the real question is, how can you not know that you're connected? If you don't know that you're connected, then you don't really understand that everything is one and here and now. Because with a true understanding of that, it automatically is understood that everything is connected. Why? Because everything is the same one thing from a different point of view. So if everything is the same one thing, how can it actually be disconnected? There is only one thing in existence. Only one. There's only one moment in existence. Only one. What you perceive as different moments are the same moment from a different point of view. So it's not even that you have separate things that are connected. There is only one thing. Therefore, connection is built in. Because every apparently different thing is just an appearance of difference. It doesn't actually different. It's just the appearance of difference. It's just the experience of difference. But mechanically speaking, there is only one thing. That's it.
Is there a way for me to, I guess, some tools where I could,
I just gave you a very powerful one.
I'm sorry, I'm missing it.
Yes, you are. There is no such thing as being actually separate. There is the illusion of separateness, the experience of separateness, but there is no such thing mechanically as actually being separate. There is only one thing in existence, and that's it. And you are that thing. And you are that thing. And you are that thing. You are all the same thing from a different point of view. It's just reflections, different looking reflections of the same thing seeing itself in all the ways that it can. So if you understand that what appears to be different people are actually the same being, how can it not be connected? There's only one being. What is there else to connect to? Nothing. Everything is within you. There is no outside. Is this making more sense?
Not really, but if I can,
Yes.
give an example.
By all means.
So let's say all of a sudden I'm by a swimming pool and I'm taking my first beginner swimming class,
Yes.
and all of a sudden I get really scared and I don't want to go in the water.
Yes.
I've never had any water experience, so I don't understand why I'm afraid. So would it be safe to say that that fear of water may be something that is from one of my other selves?
It might be, but it doesn't have to be. The fear of water may connect symbolically to some fear you have in your definitional system in this life too. Even if it's not literally a fear of water, the water may symbolically represent something you are afraid of. Many of you already know, psychologically speaking, that water is symbolically representative of emotion. So the idea may be that you have a fear within you or a fear of some emotion within you that the water simply symbolizes. And it could be many other things. You have to take it on a case-by-case basis.
Can you expand on your comment, water is symbolically representative of emotion?
Well, this is simply what comes up in your natural psychological experiences, in what you call your psychological information. The idea of emotion, energy in motion. Emotion is fluid. Thus it is symbolized with the idea of water, diving deep down into your emotionalities, like sinking under the surface of the sea or a pool. It's like allowing yourself to be immersed in the idea of your consciousness. And this has feeling components to it. And thus it has emotional components to it. It's like being immersed, like a child, in the amniotic fluid. And feeling the idea of the support and the unconditional love of the mother. Or feeling the fear of the mother. So it could even come from that. Going into a pool could be reminiscent of being in the amniotic fluid and feeling the fear of your own mother before you were born. It could be many things. You have to find out what it is for you by exploring your belief systems about why you have fear. And then the answer will come. The idea will come. It will show you. The synchronicity in your life will show you what the connection is. All right?
Okay,
But you have to be willing to explore that and not be afraid to explore it.
great, thank you.
You have to swim in that water. All right?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
It's about 12:26. If we want, we can have another 10 or 15 minutes if you want to continue, or if you'd rather break for lunch, Tadeo.
It is our perception that the majority of individuals in your chamber require sustenance. Thus then, you may take your lunch break. We will resume this transmission after your break. How's it going?
Very good. Thank you, Daryl.